Hey guys, good evening. This side Rahul Magan from Treasury Consulting Group. This video is shot 5th August 2020 around 7 p.m. Singapore. Well guys, I would like to have a very important point before you which I raised several times, like in 2018 when I raised a point about SoftBank, that the SoftBank will collapse. A lot of so-called Einstein, Edisons and Newtons came in public domain and criticized us. Now we all know where is the situation of the SoftBank. Rather, I will say that SoftBank is selling asset to make sure that they would able to survive. But today I wanted to talk about an agtech company. Well, by the way, agtech is a fancy word. It's a fancy word. It is educational technologies, which is Byju's. So there is a news that came that Byju's is looking for an additional funding and at a valuation of about $10.5 billion. Guys, can I ask one question about this $10.5 billion valuation? WeWork valued at $50 billion before IPO. And what did happen with WeWork after IPO, we all aware, right? Airbnb, when the coronavirus started somewhere in March, I should not say started, rather it picked it up in March, right? Airbnb raised around $1 billion, and at what valuation we all know. So I really fail to understand that why our so-called media, and along with few paid people, those who call themselves as valuation experts in India and outside India, how they are giving this valuation. By the way, they have given Byju's $10.5 billion valuation, and I really fail to understand when was the last time Byju's was profitable heavily, even after having Shah Rukh Khan on the board as a brand endorsement. Right, that is another thing, having Shah Rukh Khan and without Shah Rukh Khan. Now let's look at that, guys. In this whole mess up, when the online thing is picking up at a much faster pace, Zoom, you know that how well Zoom delivered in this pandemic, that's a different thing. That China and non-China issue is a separate thing, But here we are getting that Byju's is in advanced talk to raise around $400 million, and they are already in touch with the existing investors to raise another $200 million. So guys, are you looking to raise $600 million or are you looking to raise $400 million? And the most important question is not the valuation. The most important question is the profitability and the amount of data in the public domain. Example, when we talk about Oyo, Paytm, Swiggy, Zomato, Lenskart, Pepperfry, Urban Clap, Udan, and Byju's, and the list is pretty long. You make my trip and all these so-called billion-dollar companies, unicorns. Guys, where are the financial figures? Can I see the financial figures? Is analytics available of these financial figures in the public domain? And guys, more importantly, what about the valuation? Now, let us talk another aspect of this coin. We often criticize these companies on valuation, but we do not criticize a person who is absolutely responsible for not having a right valuation, and that person is the central bank. There are thousands of so-called unicorns. Like if you open your Google and just type unicorns across the globe, then you will get a big list. And I think you need to spend 100 rupees and maybe more than that to print that list from your printer. The question is, isn't that a duty of the central bank to make sure that the valuation which is happening of these startups is right? Is that something which is happening? Let's take an example of Monetary Authority of Singapore. When the WeWork crisis happened and the so-called $50 billion company was trashed like a piece of cards, Monetary Authority of Singapore was pretty silent. You go to their website and you will get to know that Monetary Authority of Singapore not passed a single resolution asking startups about their valuation. But on the contrary, the so-called Chief FinTech Officer Supendu and the MAS Chairperson Ravi Menon, they continue to speak like the FinTech is growing like this, that, but everyone know that how fair the Singapore economy is performing. Today, the difference between Singapore economy and non-Singapore economy or the other Asian economy is pretty less. and absolutely after few years it would almost be zero. Now the question is, these startups will get a boost, and what kind of boost they are getting is that because the central banker, because the central banker is timid, incompetent, knowledge level is zero, they get a boost that, guys, let's make valuation. So even if Baiju's claim to be $20 billion of valuation, people will agree to this. I know, because 99% of the people, those who are watching this video, they do not know how this valuation computed. What is the basis of that valuation? And that's how the startup world work. We learn nothing from WeWork, Airbnb, and we are really not interested learning anything. This is Treasury Consulting.